Hello, welcome to Three Crows Runes. My name is Jen. Let's do some rune readings. Today we are doing tower readings. Ooh, scary. Except it's not, because the tower is one of my favorite cards, if it's not my favorite card. Because the tower always has to come down. The tower needs to fall. It's like, this is good, ultimately. So somewhere in your life, something is crashing down, and honestly, you couldn't have maintained it anymore. So these readings are going to be about that, and what led to it, and what led to downfall, and what led to what can help you now that it's coming down, and then what your next steps are going to be. And so take a look at the 4 cards in front of you. We have the Rider-Waite Tower, we have the Steampunk Tarot Tower, we have the Robin Wood Tower, and we have the Aquarian Deck Tower. So which of these speaks to you in regards to that tower in your life that is crashing down? And I'm going to be reading with the Younger Futhark today. I have this beautiful new Younger Futhark set, which I got from Grimfrost. It's handmade, it's like bone, and it's awesome. And I'm going to be reading with those. So, see which one of these feels like the tower that seems to be collapsing in your life, and I will put the timestamps in the description, and you can click that and go right to your reading, and I will see you there. Bye! Hello, Rider-Waite Tower people. So I'm going to move the tower over here because it is happening and we need to keep that in mind. And I'm going to draw some runes from the Younger Futhark. Now, just a reminder about the Younger Futhark, it's a lot more brutal than the Elder Futhark as far as readings. It tends to not pull the regular Futhark. The Elder Futhark doesn't pull punches either, but this stuff really doesn't pull punches. They also have they have different meanings from the Elder Futhark versions of the runes that look exactly the same. Some overlap, but really not much. So what is the story for the people who chose the Rider-Waite Tower? Let's see. Okay. Interesting. I'm actually going to throw down another one on top and another one on the bottom on the main line, just to really, really, really clarify this. Actually, I'm actually going to throw one down over here as well, because this is going to start telling the story. I think I know which one this is. Oh no, wait a minute. It isn't. Yes, it is. Okay, so it's this one, but it was coming down like this. So I know which one this is. This isn't the one I think it is. Well, this isn't the... There's 2 runes in the Younger Futhark that look just like this. So... Okay, what do we have here? So, the central issue for this tower is Sol, which is the Sun Rune, and in the Younger Futhark, this is the Vanquisher of Darkness. This is the illuminator of things. And so this is where we're at now, basically. There's something that has become illuminated that means that this that has been built up cannot be maintained. What led up to this? What led up to this being an issue? And what led up to this tower being constructed, basically? What constructed this tower? We have Ear, and Ear is the rune of the bow. It normally looks like this, right side up. But it's basically, it's continuity, it's oh my gosh, it's a lot of things. It's also like not safe for work, some of it. it's something to do with Frey, which is the fertility god, and also the bow and the drawn bow, and continuing forward, continuation, shooting arrows, all that stuff. You know where I'm going at, except it's reversed. So I think it might be just something was going on that did not have the future in mind. It sort of was ignoring the future, and that's what this got constructed with. This was constructed without a thought of the future and preparing for the future. You weren't looking ahead when you were building all of this. And what has happened is we have, what triggered the fall is we have R. Now R is the rune of the harvest and profit, and it's all good, and there's no reversal for this, as you can see, same upside down as right side up. So I think I'm going to read this a couple ways. I'm going to read this as, one, you are getting benefits from this. You were getting like profit from this construction, but it did not have the future in mind. It was just sort of like, what can I get away with like right now? Not that you were trying to get away with anything, but in terms of just like, you didn't have much thought for the future when you were constructing this, and it really wasn't something that could be sustainable. At the same time, I'm going to read the harvest as what you're reaping what you sowed, basically. The things that you put into this are coming back on you now, and there is something that right now you can't ignore what this has become, and this is why it's coming down. You can't ignore elements of this because it's lit up, and it's lit up your whole world, and you can see what has gone into this, and you're like, this can't stand. So what is going to help is, I'm going to read this a couple ways. One, we have, well, I'm going to read this, I'm going to read these two runes basically. So we have Fey and we have Ur. Fey is the rune of it's gold. So it's basically, but it's gold that is contested. Like it's gold where you really know who your friends are. It can cause jealousy, and it can cause like people contesting each other for it. So it's sort of, if this was an endeavor that had to do with money, this is one of those things where you're really seeing where your friends are and where your friends aren't through this. So this is part of why it's coming down, is because like this has really shown you these people like that you thought you knew. At the same time, we have Ur, and Ur is drizzle, and it's also slag, the waste material for when you're tempering metal and making metal. And basically, it's washing away the waste metal. So you're basically looking at what you've got, and you're like, I got to get rid of what is not good. And what is showing you what is not good is the whole money thing. So maybe this was a financial exploration. Maybe this was an adventure of that nature. And it's shown you, once you had this realization, and once things started to come to light that were sort of, that you planted with this, without a thought for the future, because you didn't have to think about the future at the time. It was just a thing you were doing. Now that everything's lit up, you're like, I gotta take a second look at this. This is crashing down around me. This has really shown me who my friends are, and this is really washing away what isn't going to help me and what isn't going to be good for me. What isn't going to help is, this is Tyr. It's Tyr's rune. He's the warrior god, but he has to do with sacrifice and with also tending duties and responsibilities. It is reversed and it's on the lower line, as is Bjark, which is the birch tree shoots, which has to do with beginnings. And anyway, it's reversed, but it's on the lower line. So I'm actually going to read this in this way. One of the things Bjark has to do with is lies. Lies that sort of give you this like immediate future boost of luck. What isn't going to help is lying to yourself and ignoring your duty given what's been lit up. Because if you're just basically going to continue to lie to yourself and ignore what needs to be done, which you can see very clearly now, things are just not going to get better. So you want to do that. You want to basically bring yourself back to look at what it's shown you. It's shown you who your friends are. It's a way that you sort of have washed this out of your life. And what this is going to lead to, and this is why I'm going to throw down a couple more runes, because I actually want this to have a more clear ending than this. Nice. Okay, this is good. This is good. I like this spread now. So what your next step is from here, the tower is basically fallen. It's going to be a sore spot for you. It's going to be a point of suffering for you. This is Kaun. It has to do with a sore or like an ulcer. something that is like a sore spot, something that is, it hurts more for the innocent, say the poems. So if you've never gone through this lesson before, it's going to hurt more. If you have, if you're a bit, weathered from the world, it's going to be like, this thing I did. So, but it's it's upright. So it's going to be, your life is going to have little sore spots because of this for a little while. That's just, rebuilding after the tower. But what you're going to rebuild is going to be better. What is going to help you is, and I am going to read this a couple ways, we have Isa. Isa is ice. And in the Younger Futhark, ice has to do with something that's solid, something that bridges areas. So you're going to want to get yourself some solidity, get yourself some good solidity, start bridging where there should have been bridges and where there are currently gaps. And it might also help you to find people who, this has washed away basically the people who aren't your friends, the people who have left, who you have left, the people who are left after all of this. These are going to be your solid bridge. So I'm not saying lean on them, but basically be comforted by them. Take that moment of solidity, and to take from the Elder Futhark, stillness is another thing. So take a moment for stillness to let the clarity sink in from this. But I'm reading the Younger Futhark now, so basically you're going to want to get some solid ground under you, which in the long winters was ice. But anyway, so we have, the solidity, have something solid that you can connect with, know what this is, and go there. And that's going to help you get over the sore part of it. What isn't going to help is you're going to feel like this has been a real hailstorm for you. It's going to be like a torture by tiny cold grains. It's going to be very painful, and it's going to be just chaotic. And it's the sort of thing where you're going to be, it's hail. So it's going to be, this is from the dawn of time, this sort of crap has been going on. And there's no way around it. This is part of the world, and this can drag you down. This can depress you and basically drag you down from this situation, plus the fact that you're hurting after this collapse. So if that starts to be the case, bring yourself back up to the people you can rely on, which you have learned, and that's going to help carry you forward. And the last rune in this particular line is Logr, and Logr is the rune of just basically water and the riches that it's filled with. You're gonna have a much clearer sense of your way forward. You're gonna have like a better flow happening once you've gotten over this, and there's gonna be a better flow of riches after you've gone through all this. Beware of riches that flow down from on high, but where you're just basically, where the flow is, and you're basically dipping into that and taking your riches from that in a much more natural way, and in a way that, to take from the Elder Futhark, is true to your heart and emotions and intuition. You're going to be doing a lot better. So that Rider-Waite Tower, people, is your reading. Wow. Good luck. And I hope for the best for you, and things will improve. So take care till next time. Bye. Hello, Steampunk Tower people. Wow, what happened to you? So let's move the Steampunk Tower over here, and let's see what the Younger Futhark has to say about this story about you and your tower that came down. Okay. Let's see what we have. Okay. I'm gonna build from there. Okay. So, in case you don't remember, that wants to be that. In case you don't remember, the Younger Futhark is a lot more brutal than the Elder Futhark. The Elder Futhark doesn't pull punches, but the Younger Futhark really doesn't pull punches. Oh, which way is this? Oh, it doesn't matter, but it does matter for when I read it. So I'm pretty sure this is the Humanity Rune. The other one has a little chip on it, and it looks the same as that, except it's got a chip on it. Okay, very good. Okay, so here's your story. I just laid the whole thing out, and we're going to go from there. So what was this? This was built on sort of it's a security thing. It's sort of it was, so this is Os, and it's the rune of the god, the sanctuary, protection, home, a haven for those who live there, and the guardian of it. So it's sort of like you've created this to be safe, to be a sanctuary, but and that's honorable. But what led to its downfall is you've been neglecting your duties in it. You've really just sort of, this, and again, this was an honorable build. This was something that you built to be protective and a home and a sanctuary and all that good stuff. But because you neglected your duties and responsibilities in it, this is why it's starting to collapse. So you're faced right now with a situation where, in order to preserve things, you have to now, because this is built up to the point where you did this for so long that it's in a state of collapse. It's not sustainable the way that you were doing it. So right now you're in a state of, we have Noldra, and Noldra is having to do with need. And it's not just, I need to go buy cookies. It's, I need to drop everything and tend this emergency. This is going to lead to constraints for me, but I have to do it. So this is where you're at right now, because this is all collapsing around you because of this time of neglect. This is Tyr's rune. Tyr's the rune of Tyr, the warrior god, and he has to do with duties, responsibilities, and sacrifices sometimes, but either way, it's been neglected. It's reversed. So here you are, you need to drop everything and tend these needs now. What is going to help you is, we have Fae reversed. Fae is the rune of gold. Gold that is sort of like a contested thing, but it is reversed. So you're going to want to look at, okay, first of all, I'm also going to read this. This is Hagal, and this Hagal is the Hailstorm Rune. So it's almost like the feeling of like disaster and everything is actually what's helping you. The fact that you're feeling like things are starting to fall apart, you're feeling like the tower is collapsing. This feeling of, the bit by bit, the cold grains that are hitting you and hurting you, this is helping you sort of put aside what you were wasting your time with, and also to focus on what you have of value inside. Maybe you hadn't been using this, maybe you hadn't been utilizing this because people were jealous of it. Maybe you were afraid that you were going to make people feel like, oh, you think you're all that. But I think now is the time to do this, to actually pull this out, because you're going to need all of your resources, all of your inner gold, to help you out of this. So the things that you have, the resources that you have inwardly are what's going to help you. Your innermost riches, this is what you're going to need to pull out to be able to tend these needs that need to be tended, and just get yourself back on your feet. What isn't going to help is a couple things. If you lie to yourself, this is Bjark, it's the rune of the birch shoot. It has to do with beginnings, new beginnings, youth, all that good stuff, except it sometimes also has to do with lies, creating a lie to sort of get out of a situation. If you continue to do that, because, like, if basically, so we have Cowan as well. Cowan is the rune of sore and an ulcer and something that causes suffering, and it is reversed. So it's like a sore point. You're sort of, this is a sore point. What happened here, you know that this was sort of your doing, and you really don't have anybody else to blame, and so you're sort of, it's a sore point, so you're sort of driven to lie to yourself to try to get out of even now dealing with this. That's not going to help you. So once again, rely on your inner riches. Let the urgency of it really drive you forward to use whatever you have to try to get back on your feet. So what your next step is going to be after this point is, we have Ur reversed. Ur is the it's drizzle, and it's slag. It's what gets washed away it's the waste that gets washed away. So you want to basically look at your life, look at yourself, and sort of let what wasn't helping you wash away. what wasn't good. And, you know, you sort of, it's like wearing down, but you're sort of wearing down your inner metal and letting wash away what wasn't helping you. What is going to help you with this is, we're still, this has been a lot of pain for you. And this is basically, we have Thurs is the thorn and the giant, and the thorn and the giant, it's both things. And it has to do with, it's something you'd want to actually ward off. But the fact that this is happening is just basically, no, you know what, I have to face this, and I have to face this, and I have to let this wash away what caused this in the first place. So that's what's going to help you, sort of painful as it is. It's like facing the music. You have to, like, it's that walk of shame. You got to do it. You got to do it. What isn't going to help you is there might be some pride involved. Well, there's going to be some pride involved. Nobody with any shred of pride likes to do the walk of shame. So if you're going to avoid this walk of shame because of your pride, this is Madra. It's the rune of humanity. It has to do with potential, where, you know, humans can be like the jewel of any ship kind of thing. If your pride is keeping you from doing this, it's same with telling yourself lies because it hurts, and you don't want to face it. This can be a problem. So, you know, you're best at this point just to do that walk of shame, get it over with, because you got to get back on your feet. On your feet is past this. So face what you need to face, let it wash away so that you never find yourself in that situation again, what wasn't serving you. And what this will lead to, and this is a really good ending, is we have Sol, which is the Sun Rune. The sun is the illuminator of darkness. It's the vanquisher of darkness. That things will be illuminated again. Things will be much, much better, and you'll be able to rebuild something better than you had before, because there won't be room for you to neglect anymore, because you'll remember this beautiful thing coming down. So that, Steampunk Tower people, is your reading. Good luck. I wish you all the best. Take care till next time. Bye. Hello, Robinwood Tower people. So let's see what happened with your tower. What happened here? Oh my gosh, let's get this story happening. So let's see. Oh, that's another one. We had that one in the last one. Of course, there's very few runes in this Futhark. So this is definitely ear. There's 2 runes in the Younger Futhark that look exactly the same. And there they are. And the funny thing about this is they're both reversed. As if we needed it to be any more confusing. So the Younger Futhark has less runes than the Elder Futhark. It also reads a lot more brutally than the Elder Futhark. Not that the Elder Futhark doesn't pull punches, but the Younger Futhark really doesn't pull punches. It really doesn't. So you're going to be here for some truths laid down, and that might not be fun or pleasant, but that's just the way it be. Okay. So our central issue here is you're in a situation where you are really having to face, you're really having to drop everything and tend this. You're just going to have to drop everything. This is Naldra, it's the rune of need. And in the Younger Futhark, it's basically a need that's like an emergency. You have to drop everything and deal with this, because you're going to have to, there's going to be constraints coming in place, and it's just going to be one of those things where the time is now, you have to deal with it. So let's see what led up to this. What is this tower? This tower, you know what's funny is this was the problem with the first tower that I read earlier. But it's basically, this is ear, it's the rune of the drawn bow. It's continuity, it's progression, it's, shooting for the future. Some not safe for work meanings as well, in terms of like it's related to fray and things. However, it looks like that this tower was sort of built without considering its effect on the future. And so what has happened to trigger it to fall is we have Madra, and Madra is the rune of humanity, in that humans have potential. So it has to do with potential. So in that you built this tower without considering the future, you have sort of neglected your potential. It's you could be so much more. And the fact of this has actually left you sort of depleted and sort of bereft and sort of just like, I mean, I think in the difference from this and the first one is that I think in a lot of ways you're the one who decided to topple this tower because you just weren't feeling fulfilled. You weren't feeling fulfilled and you weren't feeling satisfied, and things are sort of bleak and not feeling like they're nourishing you. So this leads us to this point where we feel like, oh, now we have to drop, we just right now drop everything, let's deal with this. So what's going to help? First of all, tend your inner duties. We have Tears Rune, Tears the Warrior God. It's in the helping line, like the really, really helping line. So what's going to help is you know what you need. There are definitely needs you need to tend, and they were neglected all this time when this was going on. So now that the tower is falling, tend your needs. Basically look at what you need, and like just your responsibility and your duty is for yourself at this point. And this will actually lead you to a great illumination. We have Sol, which is a Sun Rune. It's going to it's the Vanquisher of Darkness. So it's going to basically light everything up. You're going to see very clearly what needs to be done so that you can do this. What isn't going to help? We have Kaun reversed and we have Is reversed. So this is a sore or an ulcer, which is an inner thing. So it's like a sore point. So you're gonna feel bad about this. What happened, and you're sort of going to worry about solidity because you constructed this. It was solid-ish, except it wasn't nourishing you, and so it doesn't serve, and it's collapsing now. And so you're worried about having the solidity that ice in the Younger Futhark has to do with solidness and being a bridge and things like that. And you're worried about the connections that this made, and that it's a sore point at this point. This is going to drag you down if you let it. This is much healthier on this side of it. We need to basically drop everything, tend your duties, tend your responsibilities, and let the sunlight in, because it's been out. It's been out for a long time, and you need to let the light in because the light is going to help you. What your next step is look inside and see what you have of value inside. This is Fey, it's reversed, it's gold, it's wealth, and it has to do, reversed, it has to do with inner. So you're going to be looking at your inner wealth, what makes you rich inwardly. And this is the sort of thing that you might hesitate to use because you don't want other people to think you're all that. You don't want people to think, because Fey has this built-in thing about it's gold, but it's gold that's contested. Like people might be jealous of it. So don't worry about it, because this is something that's going to get you out and start rebuilding things better than they were before. What is going to help you is start rebuilding things better than they were before. We have Bjark, and it's the rune of the birch tree shoot, and it's beginnings and new shoots and new beginnings and youth and birthings. Sometimes lies, but we're not going to bring that in. I usually reserve that for when it's in the lower lines and reversed. So, but basically begin new. Just make a new start of things with great consideration of your inner wealth. What isn't going to help is we have R, and R is the rune of, not R, this is Os. Os is the rune of, in the Elder Futhark, it's communication manifestation. In the Younger Futhark, it has to do with security, protection, sanctuary, the god, and it's basically a sort of a sanctuary. You're still thinking about this. There's like a comfort zone element that you've lost, and you're sort of, your comfort zone was this and it wasn't healthy to you, and this is why it's collapsing. So your best thing is seek your riches within that you have already and make a new beginning, make a new start, because the faster you start that, the faster you rebuild, the more you're going to be able to move forward. And ultimately what this is going to lead to is we have Ur reversed, and Ur is the rune of drizzle and also slag. It's the waste that gets washed away when it's when you're making like metal. So it's reversed and it's on the path line. So it's going to be an inner process. This is going to lead you to really sort of wash out of yourself what wasn't good or healthy. This is going to basically leave you more honed and more tempered and more a much stronger person than you were when you started. And this will help you to rebuild a new sanctuary and home that will be healthy and will serve you better. And so that, Robin Wood Tarot Tower people, is your reading. Good luck. I wish you all the best. Take care till next time. Bye. Hello, Aquarian deck tower people. So we are going to move this tower over here and let's see what happened with this tower. Let's see what your story is about this tower. So basically, okay, interesting. Oh, which one is this? Eventually I'll be able to tell which one they are from the front because one of them I think is darker than the other one. So there's two runes in the Younger Futhark that look exactly the same as that, except one is facing the one way and the other one is facing the other way. The last reading I did, I had them both side by side and both of them were reversed, as if we needed it to be a little more confusing. But it's all good. We all worked it out. It's all good. So, so I'm just basically laying out the whole reading to start with, and we're going to go from there. Okay, what do we have? Ah, that's the one. You can tell because it's got a notch in it. So that's good. Okay, and I think this one doesn't. Yes, okay. We'll get there. All right. So right now you are in a situation where the tower is coming down that you built up, and you're in a situation where it feels like absolutely you're suffering. It feels like this is a tragedy that you would have wanted to have a ward against. Like this is just right now you're in a really miserable situation, and I'm really sorry to hear that. What was this tower? This tower was built on a few things. This tower was built on sort of like free riches, like the flow of like material fullness. This is basically the water that flows down from the mountains that is full of riches of like fish and minerals and all kinds of really good stuff. And it looks like this tower was built on that, which is not a bad thing. It's like, why not, build up this tower on what is flowing to you. But what triggered this fall is, I'm going to read this a couple ways, but I actually want to throw down a couple more runes. So you get like an extra little couple of runes for this because I really want to clarify this step and why the thing fell. Okay. Okay, so a journey got involved. My first inclination was to say that your life's direction started to take you in a different direction from where this was flowing. This would sort of... What was happening was there's a sense of that you were actually being led by your inner duties and responsibilities to yourself. You got led, you were starting to be led in a different direction as far as your path was going in a different way. And as such, and then what wasn't helping you was that you were worried about, I'm just trying to think how to read this. This is the sun. It's usually very, very positive, but it's sort of, when a very, very positive rune lands in the negative spot, it generally has to do with the worry about that thing. So you're sort of worried that you're going to miss the light, which makes sense, because if you're already profiting from, and like you've constructed this tower out of, the natural flow that is coming by you, if you're going to shift your path, you are going to worry about, missing. It's like that whole FOMO thing, your fear of missing out. You don't want to miss the light. You're worried about it. So this is sort of one of the reasons that you shifted your path. And part of it was that you were tending your own duties and responsibilities. But either way, it became unstable, and now it's collapsing. Maybe it was maybe it was your changing path that was collapsing. And maybe, to read this another way, some of the things that you needed to be doing to maintain this, you were neglecting, because Tears Rune has to do with duty and responsibility as well. I was reading this on one hand, you felt like you were tending your own duties and responsibilities by following the light and shifting your path. But at the same time, you were neglecting what was actually coming through, and that actually ended up being what started the collapse of this tower. So right now you're in a situation where everything seems to be like just not working and painful and not good. So what is going to help you is, this is Madra, and Madra is the rune of humanity, in that humanity it has great potential, and you need to look inwardly for your potential. It might also be saying, try not to be as ambitious as you were. Stay open to nature. Stay open to the natural flow of energy, because this is Hagal, and it's the rune of hail. It's the hailstorm. It's natural energies. But you know what? I'm reading the Younger Futhark, so let me give you another meaning of that. Things that have always been. Things that have been natural in ways that have always been in the world. And it's like a very negative connotation to this normally, because it's the killer of snakes. It's basically the tiny cold grains that cause death. But I am going to read this on the upper line as something that's always been there. So maybe this flow that you've moved away from was something that was always there and that you were able to neatly harvest. I mean, this could all have to do with energy. So your source of energy, maybe you shifted that and you aren't getting this energy that you had before. And what this is going to lead to is maybe, swallow your pride, go back to where you're in flow with nature and where you're in flow with the ancient, has always been there forces, and maybe swallow your ambition and just basically say, you know what, this was working for me really, really well. Maybe this realignment is what's going to help me. At the same time, look to your inner worth. Look to your inner worth and your inner potential, because this is going to help you as well. It works together, because that takes you away from your outer ambition. What isn't going to help? We have Ur reversed and Fey reversed. So Fey is riches, and it's on the lowest line. So it's sort of like the riches that are contested. It's you're worried about money, because money is the thing that everybody squabbles over and everybody fights over, and that's actually going to drag you down. And inwardly you've been worn down. You're worried about being worn down. Ur is drizzle and also slag. It's the waste matter. So it's sort of like an inner wearing down because of this fight about money that is constant. It's this constant struggle to get riches and money. So if that starts to be the case, remember, this is what's going to help you realign with what has always been there in terms of what was helping you. And and this is going to actually help you swallow your ambition in terms of where you're doing with the FOMO, and you're going to move forward from this place of suffering. You are actually going to construct a better sanctuary at this point. This is Os. Os is it's the god, it's the sanctuary, it's the protection, it's the home. And your next step is actually to reassess your home and to basically your place of, your comfort zone, your place of sanctuary. What's going to help you? We have the Ice Rune, Is, and it has to do with solidity and bridging. So this may even involve other people that you can rely on. But get that solidity, get some solidity under you, get something that can bridge from where you are to where you need to be, and that's going to help you with your home. What isn't going to help is we have Kaun. Kaun is the rune of the sore, it's the ulcer, it's a sore spot. It's not just an internal sore spot either. It's like there's material soreness, there's outward world soreness happening with this, and that could drag you down. But really your focus is get your new sanctuary going, and find the solidity that you need. What your next step is, this is ear, and this is ear, and this is basically shoot for the future. This time, once you re-find your home and your path, aim for the future. You're going to need something that's going to be sustainable. You're going to be really seeking something sustainable and that's going to carry you forward into the future. Sorry, it's the bow. It's the drawn bow. Arrows going to the future. So that, Aquarian Tower people, is your reading. I wish you very, very good luck with this. And take care. Take care till next time. Bye!